Hello and welcome to Glorious Miniatures. On today, whatever day it is, I have no idea of the date. Whenever this video goes live, we've got another unboxing right here. We have a Sicaran battle tank. And yeah, this is obviously the front of it. The reverse side of it, we've got an idea of the Sons of Horus paint schemes that potentially can be used. Imperial Fist paint scheme, transfers. You got a couple of sponson mounted weapon options for you to look at, and on top we've got the I've forgotten what weapon it's called. I'm sure it's got a fancy name, but I can't remember it for the life of me right now. Anyway, let's just crack into it and get on. Hey, tracks, sponsons, vehicle accessories, running gear, and the top and weapons, instructions, transfers. That's it. Let's have a quick look through these, shall we? I'm going to see if we can have a reverse view of this time. Normally I do the instructions last, but I figured we'd have a look at those first, mainly so I can know vaguely what I'm talking about when it comes to the weapons when looking at the sprue. Okay, but this is the transfer sheet, as you can see, the best side on the left and the naughty boys on the right. Very nice. Instruction manual is right here, the Legion Sicaran battle tank, obviously with a sort of guide on the right saying what different markings mean. Assemble first, do not glue. Choice of parts, variant assemblies, repeating options, rotating, and then that's all that sort of stuff. Glue, clippers, mold line remover if that's your jam. So you're going to build left and right side of this. Obviously, it's basically the flipped version of the other side. That's building the side assembly out of the track assembly and then putting on the tracks. Some people prefer to put the tracks on, well, I was going to say now, and some people prefer to paint them separately on a sprue or something and then glue them on afterwards. Really depends on the kind of paint scheme that you're going to be doing and whatnot. But that's all there is there. It's pretty basic. Goes together pretty well, nice and easily. And then you move on to the next section where you make the sort of front plate, whatever they call that, the glacis paint, glacis panel. There we go. You got a hull, heavy mounted. You got a hull mounted heavy bolter right here. That is a nice option for my Imperial Fist, certainly. It does rotate a little bit, so you don't have to glue it if you want to sort of turn it left and right a bit. That's definitely an option. And then attach that to the side bit, like the driver's compartment. And you've got, I don't know what this bit's called. Anyway, you glue it all together. And it looks a bit flimsy at this point, but that is going to be reinforced by the side track bits. Track assemblies, that was the word I came up with. I've heard before. I'm calling these track assemblies. So once you've got the track assemblies ready, sort of glue this central section together, and while it's still gluing, you can lock it into place with the track assemblies and the last kind of armored bits there. Then you get the roof, glue that on, lovely jubbly. You got the exhaust stacks at the back. They are relatively simple. You don't glue this thing. There's a bit of stuff you don't glue around the front if you want the guns to elevate. And that's all there is to that. It's relatively simple, but it's worth just double checking what you're looking at and the parts you're using and where the glue's going. Because if you want it to move and you glue it by accident, it's a bit of a disaster, really. So double check before you glue. Speaking of that, I am going to do a video of building this at some point when I get a decent amount of time to do it all in one sitting. And then you've got the accelerator autocannons. Is that what these things are called? You get to build two of them. There is a sort of central bit which holds them both together. And then you run that through the turret part without gluing it. And then you glue it to the other autocannon on the other side. So that can freely rotate up and down. Right, and then you don't have to glue that into the actual body of the Sicaran because then it can turn left and right if that is your wish. It makes it slightly easier for transport as well, I suspect. Then you've got, as always, sponson mounted weapons. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video on magnetizing at some point. just in case you haven't seen the other videos out there of that. But you do have a bunch of options. You got heavy bolter, las cannon, heavy flamer, and Volkite culverin options. A whole host of options, in fact. I think I'll be personally sticking with either heavy bolters or las cannons for my Imperial Fist armored spearhead. But anyway, once you've built those sponsons, you sort of, this central bit there, you just place it in the right place and then rotate it 90 degrees forward, and that locks in place. You don't have to use glue at all. So you don't even have to magnetize, which is a great thing for that part there. You got the pintle-mounted combi weapons and stuff. As always, the same options. You get the bolter, flamer, melter gun, plasma gun, and Volkite charger, if that is what you wish for. You've got primary bolter and a secondary weapon. Pintle-mounted havoc launcher. You get your pintle-mounted melter gun, heavy flamer, or heavy bolter options. You got hatch options with gunners. There's also a closed hatch option and a commander option as well. The whole host of options: hunter killer missile, smoke launcher, searchlight. That's and then you'll end up with a lovely tank like this. I've now got 2 of these, and I'm probably going to make a 3rd one for my commander. I keep changing my armored spearhead list, but hopefully I'll come up with something. Anyway, let's have a look at the main section. We've got the top plate of your Sicaran right here, the central section here, and this is the turret here, which you will eventually fit onto this bit into here. And that's all there is really to it. You want a bit there which can elevate, go up and down there. The accelerator autocannons on each side here, with the exhaust stacks right there to glue together. It's basically mirrored right down the center almost for the layout. And this is the bar which keeps the 2 accelerator autocannons together. And then moving on to the track assemblies right here, left and right, the floor. I don't know what this thing's called. And the back bit, which the exhaust stack sticks onto. All incredibly simple. Yeah, there's nothing really to say about this. It's pretty basic. You've got your side-mounted sponsons here. You've got the heavy las cannon, Volkite, heavy bolter, and there is the flamer somewhere. I always forget where it is. There it is. And that's you just building the exact same thing twice. Mirrored it over if that is your jam. I know you can certainly magnetize it, and hopefully I'll be doing a video, as I've already said, for that. Here are the tracks. You can certainly spray these on this as it is and then glue it on after the case, after you've painted the rest of the Sicaran. Some people, they find that very easy. I will not be doing that, certainly as it is. If I do that, I will make sure that I sort of chop it into different sections, keep one side attached, and then cut these sides, and then I could at least clear off one side and be quite happy with that side of things. And then obviously, as always, you've got the ubiquitous vehicle accessory sprue with closed hatches. You've got the commander, you've got the gunner, you've got various gun weapons options. You've got the dozer blade, you won't be using that on this kit. Havoc launcher, heavy flamer, heavy melter, heavy bolter somewhere, wherever that is. Smaller weapons there. Smoke grenade launcher and hunter killer missile as well. That's all there is really to this kit. It's relatively simple. I hope I'll be doing a video, a full build of this at some point. I wish I could say when. It really depends on kind of family stuff. And yeah, so as soon as I'm able to, I will record that. Get a nice build thing, potentially post it over on my blog at gloriousminiatures.com. Do go and check it out. Sign up to the newsletter. If I do any giveaways on this channel, then being part of that newsletter is the only way to win them. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.